Over the span of 4 decades as a local official, Steve Johnson has officiated thousands of football, basketball, and baseball games here in mid-Michigan. Well, this summer, Johnson went from referee to competitor, not in a sport, but in a battle for his life. Here's Fox 66 Sports Director Tom Eschen.
You've probably heard Steve Johnson's whistle, or maybe you thought his strike zone was a little too wide. Maybe you played in a game he refed in. Maybe your child did. Maybe even your grandchild did. But it's hard to miss his energy on the field, and even in his own backyard.
And then we come back up here, and then we have 4 holes, and we try to make 9 out of it.
Johnson started his homemade disc golf course last spring, constructing almost 4 holes by the month of June. Before he could finish the final hole, his life changed forever.
When she looked at that x-ray, she came out to me, and she just says, do you have a will? You know, and at that particular time, you know, my heart sunk. It just felt like somebody hit me with a sledgehammer about that time.
Diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, Johnson was given 2 months to live.
I started praying, you know, and basically the number one thing was, hey, you know, God, give me something that I can fight here.
A friend arranged a one-on-one meeting with well-known faith healer Dr. Issam Naimi out of Ohio. The night before he was supposed to meet him, Dr. Naimi asked for a picture of Johnson.
About the time that picture was reaching Dr. Naimi, okay, I felt this warm water running in my chest, okay? And I had a royal blue shirt on. Yeah. And all of a sudden my son goes, are you okay, Dad? You know, I looked over and he goes, man, you're sweating. You know, well, like I said, I was only sweating across here. Right. And that was it. Rest of me was dry. Yeah. But I felt that pulsation coming from my chest, like it was not waves coming in, it was waves going out. Right. You know, and I looked at my wife, Terry, and I says, I think cancer just kind of like left my body.
A new diagnosis came in. Stage 4 diffuse large cell lymphoma. Still grim, but now a glimmer of hope. The chemotherapy took its toll. He was down to 114 pounds, but he kept fighting. He started gaining weight, and in September, back up to 140, and 3 months after his initial diagnosis, where they had asked if he had a will, now the cancer gone.
For me to hear those words, like, you know, after coming back from the PET scan saying, man, you're in full remission. You know, and I looked at the doctor and I goes, oh, come on, man. And he goes, no, Steve, he goes, we don't mess with stuff like that.
And 4 months later, the final piece of his disc golf course is complete.
All I had to do was put this one little piece of zip tie on here to finish it. But it took me 4 months to finish it.
Wow. Yeah. Later on tonight in sports, we're going to have more on what the local referees are doing to kind of help him out as he continues treatment. He had chemotherapy on Monday. Still has another treatment on October 31st, Halloween. That could be his last one, Bill. Tell with the viewers the story you told us when you walked in the studio when you were going up to do the interview. I mean, you always expect when you go to these things, you don't know how he's going to be considering how grim his condition was. He came right out to the car. He was running out there, and it seems like he had the energy that he's had before he was in that hospital bed. As you saw, it was pretty remarkable to see the energy he has after all that struggle these past few months. Uplifting story. Yeah. We'll talk to you in about another half hour. Well, we told you how local high school sports referee Steve Johnson had 2 months to live after being diagnosed with cancer. Now, we show you the impact he's made both before and after that diagnosis and what his colleagues, who are also his closest friends, are doing to help. They're never the centerpiece, but we see referees and officials all the time at various sporting events. Sometimes we like them, sometimes we don't. They share a unique perspective, one that bonds them together, like a family. So when one of their own, Steve Johnson, was diagnosed with cancer, it struck a chord.
To take Steve off a field, a basketball court, or anything like that, that's just not Steve Johnson. He's a go-getting guy, and you know, it hurt us.
Obviously thrilled about his recent revival back to health, longtime friends and fellow referees John Montney and John Shelton got referees from the Bay Metro, Saginaw area, and Genesee County Officials Associations to donate their game checks to Steve's GoFundMe page on Friday night. That equates to $10,000 to $15,000 for his treatments.
And what the guys are doing for me here is just unbelievable. So, you know, that just... But, you know, I got a lot of friends in that world, man. Right. I have a lot of friends in that world.
A world he hopes to rejoin soon. He's been asked now to speak to churches and help others get through their tough times like his. That's something he's embracing, but he can't hide his passion.
The number one thing is to get back out there and get on that field and get on that basketball court because, you know, it's 40 years I've been doing this. It's, I miss it. Yeah. You know, it's just, thinking you're never going to be able to do it again.
Right.
What it opens up.
That's been your passion.
It's been my passion.
You know he loves it when
He's a passionate guy, right? In the rare case that you missed the part one of this, you're going to have both of these on the website,
Yeah,
right?
WSMH.com right after this newscast.
How
Take a
could you
look.
not be inspired and just, ooh.
I got to sit next to him on that bench, Bill. It was an experience for myself, just listening to him speak and how he wants to inspire people, and he has. I told you,
Yeah,
he already
he's-
inspired so many people, and it's going to continue as if he gets back out there on the court, which we all hope he does. Here to see him, with those kids again on the court.
Best of luck, Steve. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dave. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, Dow and Carmen going at it tonight. Playoff implications on the line here in the Saginaw Valley League. A big game, and something that, as we bring in now, Steve Johnson, who's done more than 4 decades of reffing around here. You know all about big games, Steve. Tonight, it's a special night for Steve, as the refs around the region, Bay County, Genesee County, and Saginaw Valley League are donating their game checks to Steve, as we told you last night, his miraculous recovery from cancer. Steve, what's it mean to, your crew's here tonight, man? What's it like?
Hey, man, I didn't even realize they were going to be here, to tell you the truth, all right? But when I showed up and saw him here, I was just elated. Yeah. Okay, but no, it's just a wonderful thing. I thank God that for what's going on, and I thank my fellow officials and stuff. I mean, it's just wonderful what they're doing for me, and it's just enough to make it makes you want to cry. Is what makes you want to do. Yeah. Okay, but thank God, for them, and thank God for sports. Okay,
right, yeah.
And that's
been your life.
That's been my life. Yep, 40 good years of it. So,
yeah. And you think about where you were at. 114 pounds not too long ago. What motivated you the most to get back out here and give all this energy that you have today, which is so infectious?
Well, number one was when I got that PET scan. Okay, yeah. And that PET scan said, "Hey, you're going down in the remission. You're in remission," yeah. And then that just gave me new life. Okay, and then you just want to fight for that. Okay, and I want to, I want to live. Man, I've got grandchildren. Okay, I've got a wife. It's time to get back out here and run around. Okay, and I want to, I've always been in shape. And then when I got down to that 114 pounds, I mean, I knew right then and there I had a battle in front of me, and and I'm hoping to beat that battle. And right now I'm in the upper step of it. Yeah. So right now,
one more treatment to go.
One more treatment on Halloween, man. It ain't gonna be much of a treat, but hey, let me tell you something. I'm actually looking forward to it, to get it over with.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Steve.
Right.
We appreciate you joining us tonight.
More than welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, he'll be on the 100.9 ESPN broadcast tonight too. They're having a little Steve Johnson night. Obviously, as I mentioned, probably more than $10,000 going to Steve with all these donated game checks. We'll have highlights from this game and much more later on tonight on Friday Night Football. Reporting live here from Midland, I'm Tom Eschen. NBC 25 News will be right back.